Hey everyone, welcome to Reality TV News Update, the place where we bring you the latest updates, fun moments, and behind-the-scenes stories you won't want to miss. For weeks, the Big Brother 27 fandom believed the season's chaos had finally begun to settle. The show was over, the house guests were slowly returning to normal life, and the heated debates that once consumed social media had calmed. Fans assumed they'd get a few months of peace before the next round of post-show drama hit. They assumed wrong, because early one morning, a shockwave tore through the BB27 community. A scandal so explosive, so unexpected, and so intentionally timed that it rattled not only fans, but two of the season's most talked-about names, Vince Pinaro and Morgan Pope. At 7:03 a.m., an anonymous account appeared on Twitter, one that no one had ever seen before. No followers, no posts, no profile picture, nothing but a single tweet. Ask Vince why he told Morgan there was no one else. Ask him about the trip. Attached to the tweet was a blurred thumbnail. That was all it took. Within minutes, the tweet had gone viral. The leaked image. At 7:27 a.m., the same account posted again, this time without any blur, a full, unedited photo, and it looked incriminating. It showed Vince on a pier at sunset, standing close to a woman who was definitely not Morgan. Her face wasn't fully visible, hair in a messy bun, sunglasses pushed up on her head, but her body language was unmistakably intimate. She leaned toward him. He wasn't pulling away. The caption on the tweet? He said she meant nothing. Then why were they together for 3 days? The fandom ignited instantly. BB Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, even TikTok all exploded with theories, accusations, defenses, and relentless speculation. Some people demanded answers. Some insisted it had to be harmless. Others declared Vince canceled within minutes. But the person who reacted the fastest, Morgan. Morgan goes silent. Morgan Pope had gone live on TikTok earlier that same morning, drinking coffee, chatting casually with fans. She had been relaxed, glowing, and laughing, until someone in the chat spammed, "Morgan, check Twitter now." Her smile vanished. A few seconds later, her eyes widened, her breath caught, and she abruptly ended the live with a shaky, I have to go. The silence that followed was deafening. She didn't tweet. She didn't post a story. She didn't respond to anyone, not even her closest friends. The fan base began obsessively refreshing her accounts, waiting for some sign of life. Nothing came. Vince finally sees the photo. Meanwhile, Vince was at the gym when his phone started buzzing nonstop. He ignored the first few vibrations, assuming they were group chats or random notifications. Then his brother called. 3 times. By the 4th call, Vince finally answered. Before he could even say hello, his brother yelled, "Vince, get off the treadmill and look at Twitter right now." Vince stepped aside, grabbed his phone, and opened the app. His heart dropped. He recognized the setting instantly. The pier, the sunset, the angle, the moment. It was from a group trip earlier that year, long before Big Brother, long before Morgan, long before any of the chaos that would change his entire life. And the woman? He knew exactly who she was. But the idea that this, a harmless, friendly moment captured unintentionally, was now being weaponized against him, it stunned him. He immediately texted Morgan. No answer. He called. No answer. His chest tightened, because even though the photo meant nothing, even though he had done nothing wrong, the timing couldn't have been worse. They had just begun rebuilding their friendship after months of emotionally heavy ups and downs. They had just begun trusting again. And now this, the second leak. Just when the fandom thought the situation couldn't escalate further, the anonymous account posted again at 9:14 a.m. This time, a video selfie. Not of Vince, not of the mystery woman, but of someone who had taken the picture. A shaky 2-second clip captured accidentally while someone adjusted their camera. In the background, Vince and the woman walking side by side. You couldn't hear their words, you couldn't see their expressions clearly, but the caption on the tweet was, "They looked pretty close to me. Should I release the audio next?" The fandom lost its mind. Did audio exist? What did they talk about? Was this a setup? Why would someone wait months to drop something like this? Suddenly, everyone had theories. An ex, a bitter house guest seeking revenge, a fan with inside access, a friend turned enemy, but the biggest theory came from a locked account that tweeted, "I know exactly who's behind this, and she's been holding on to this for months." Inside Morgan's apartment, Morgan sat on her couch, phone in hand, scrolling through thousands of comments she wished she had never seen. Vince cheated. He lied to her. She deserves better. Guys will always be guys. This explains why they were weird after the show. Her stomach twisted. She didn't believe Vince was a cheater. She didn't believe he had lied to her. But the internet didn't care about truth. It cared about drama. And she hated that she suddenly found herself caught in a tornado of it. Her phone buzzed again. Vince calling. This time she answered. "Hey," she said quietly, her voice tight. "Morgan, please tell me you know this isn't what it looks like." "I'm trying," she whispered. The silence between them was heavy, uncomfortable, raw. Then Vince said, "Let me explain before the entire internet decides the story for us." He took a breath. That trip was 4 months before Big Brother. We were with a group of friends, 10 of us. The girl in the photo, her name's Emily. She was dating my friend at the time. Morgan's eyebrows lifted. "Dating your friend?" "Yes, at the time she was practically glued to him. The picture is misleading. Someone cropped everyone else out. I don't know why she's leaning toward me, but I swear, nothing happened. I barely talked to her the entire trip." Morgan closed her eyes. It made sense. It aligned with everything she knew about him. It aligned with his character. But still, why would someone leak this? She asked softly. "I have no idea," he said. "But whoever did this waited until we were finally okay again. That's not a coincidence." Morgan swallowed hard. No, it wasn't. The fandom investigated. By noon, BB27 fans had become full-time detectives. They analyzed the peer location, the original photo metadata, the shadows, the timing of the sunset, the anonymous accounts' posting patterns. Reddit threads were filled with timelines, rumors, and dramatic breakdowns. Some fan found something that changed everything. The anonymous account had been created using an email linked to a username previously associated with a toxic BB stan who had harassed multiple house guests during the season. Another fan noticed the typing style matched someone who had been blocked by Vince months ago after spreading lies about him. But the biggest clue came from someone who found a blurred reflection in the video leak, a reflection of a person holding the phone. And fans recognized the bracelet. It belonged to someone who had appeared in Morgan's private friend group earlier that year, someone Morgan had quietly unfollowed months later, someone that fans had suspected had a personal agenda. The scandal blows open. At 4:34 p.m., the anonymous account suddenly went private. At 4:35 p.m., it deleted all posts. At 4:36 p.m., it vanished completely. And then, at 4:10 p.m., a former friend of Morgan's, someone she had cut ties with months ago, posted a cryptic tweet. Funny how people play innocent after lying for months. The fandom pounced. Screenshots, receipts, old DMs, time-stamped photos, everything pointed toward one conclusion. The leak wasn't about exposing truth, it was about revenge. Vince and Morgan respond. At 7 p.m., both Vince and Morgan finally spoke publicly. Together, a single joint statement posted on both their Instagram stories. Photos from a group trip months before BB27 were leaked and edited without context. The woman pictured was not romantically involved with Vince. Someone with personal motives attempted to mislead fans and damage our reputations. We're handling the situation privately. Thank you to everyone who waited for the truth instead of assuming the worst. The reaction was overwhelming. Supportive messages, apologies, outrage toward the leaker, a massive shift in public sentiment. Some fans even joked, so the real alliance this season is Vince and Morgan versus the world. Aftermath. And a new beginning. Later that night, Morgan texted Vince, "Thanks for being honest. I know today was a lot." Vince replied, "Thank you for listening. Want to talk tomorrow?" "Yeah," she wrote. "I think that would be good." Neither of them said it out loud, but they both felt the same thing. The scandal had shaken them, but it had also forced them to communicate more honestly than they ever had before. And oddly enough, it had brought them closer. The Big Brother fandom, they were already preparing for the next chapter. Because in their world, drama never dies. Not even after the cameras stop rolling. And definitely not when secrets, real or manufactured, start leaking. BB27's chaos wasn't ending anytime soon.